It's Bish, Cake, CB, and JP. We put up the Junkies poll of the day at Junks Radio on Twitter. Who do you blame the most for the Commanders' woes? Ron Rivera running away with it at 56%. Jack Del Rio, 22%. The players, 22%.
Wow.
The question is, what do you do with Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio? Cakes has been a proponent of firing him. I back you. Why not?
Well,
you got extra days now. It's Thursday. You got extra days.
I have updated Ron's tee time tracker.
Originally, it was at what?
It was at January 8th.
Because that's the day after the season ends?
Yeah, that's when he would have his first tee time at Pebble Beach. We know he owns a home there.
Okay.
He loves it out there. I'm sure he loves playing golf out there. Why wouldn't you? You've been there. You've been there a few
beautiful.
times.
It's
It's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yes.
Should I
Heaven on earth.
Should I unveil the new date now or wait till the end of the segment?
No, you can do it now.
Do it now?
Yeah,
okay.
what about noon today?
I have not today. I have October 11th. Okay, today is the 6th. This is the tee time.
Right.
Now he may and should be fired today, in my opinion. If it were Cakes Harris running the show, I've seen enough from Ron. I know that he's a very mediocre NFL head coach who luck boxed his way to a 15-1 record that artificially inflates his mediocre record because he was lucky enough to draft Cam Newton number 1, and they had that storybook season in Carolina. I've seen enough. He's running the show personnel-wise and coaching-wise, and if I'm Josh Harris, you embarrassed me and the other owners and all the fans on national television, and I've had enough.
Okay.
I've seen enough at this point.
Don't disagree. He hasn't had a winning season in 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's
What are we doing?
more than enough time.
He screams
No one
mediocrity.
has lasted longer with this little success.
Yeah, and if I were Josh Harris, of course, if you fire Ron, then Jack goes with him. And at that, I guess you toss the keys to Bieniemy as an
Why
interim
not?
audition.
Why
Well,
not?
Yeah, who cares?
At
Why
least
not?
Bieniemy shows some fire
at
on the
least-
sideline.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who's
I
gonna-
don't know how good he is.
Who's going to run the defense?
I don't care.
Anybody?
I'm going to elevate whoever's
Linebacker
next,
coach,
whoever's
right.
next in line.
It doesn't
Defensive
matter.
line
It won't
coach.
get- It could get worse.
Yeah, could they get possibly
Not
worse?
the
than-
secondary coach. Not the secondary
Yeah,
coach.
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Whoever-
I might be on an island
Yeah.
here and probably
Go ahead.
am.
Let Jeff
All right.
Scanino
I'm going to
run it.
zag
Who
a little
cares?
bit.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give him one more week. I'm
That's
not
fine.
firing him today
I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
because if you're firing basically your entire staff at 2-3, you're completely giving up.
Yeah.
And there's still, 12 games left if I'm doing the math right.
Mm-hmm.
You're completely giving up if
Or
you're
you're
giving
trying to
up
give
on
yourself a
Rivera
chance.
and
Trying to
Del
give
Rio.
yourself
Or
a
you're trying to
jolt.
give yourself
You're trying
a
to jolt
chance.
the team back
Maybe
into reality.
you might be right. I'm just going to say one more week. If they lose to
Jason.
Atlanta, then
Jason,
it's all
what
done.
coach do you know in any professional sport can go 7 years without winning and keep their job?
I know.
We've
I mean,
talked about this the last
Ron
several
has-
years.
And you know what? He may, if there wasn't a new owner this year, he may have been gone already. Okay, so I just don't know. But the new owner coming in, I don't think he's going to fire him 5 weeks into
Now,
his
I
job.
think he probably won't because he doesn't want to look impulsive and rash like Dan Snyder because that was obviously Dan Snyder's
End of the season,
reputation.
I get it.
But like if you want to shake it up, if you want to make an impact and let people know that you're serious about owning the team, you have to let them know that that sort of display is unacceptable. It's unacceptable to let a team that hasn't won in 337 days
Roll up 40
come
on
and humiliate you on your home field.
I know.
You can't let that
Like I
happen.
said, I'm
You
on an
can't-
island.
You can't let that stand.
And I understand why everyone feels that way. I'm just going to give him one more week because if you win next week in
What's
Atlanta,
going
you're
to be
3-3.
different? What's going to be different, though?
Well, they might
Is
win.
this-
You might
They
win and
might
you're 3-3.
win, but it had nothing to do with Ron.
Can I bring
No, I'm
up
not
one
saying
other
that.
angle?
Like I said, I don't.
You could coach him as well as he did.
I don't disagree that they need to make a change. I'm just going to give them one more week to see if they can win because when you fire your coach at 2-3, anybody who fires their coach, you're giving up on the season because your team is really bad.
Or you're lighting a fire under him, and anybody's
I don't
better.
have that much trust.
Anybody's better.
I know, but I don't have that much trust in Bieniemy right now.
I
to
don't
run the
either.
show.
But I know I
But
don't
he
have
can't be
trust in
worse.
Ron.
He can't
Right,
be
like
worse.
I say, you're giving away. You're giving up.
No, I'm saying there's a chance he might be better. At least the enemy, at least allegedly cares about detail, is passionate, is fiery, pushes the guys.
And Ron doesn't have the excuse of, well, these aren't the players that I picked. This is a front office has done me dirty here.
No.
These are his guys.
Look,
he
I know-
runs everything.
I know
Your
most of the
time is running out.
True.
It's
It should have
over.
run out. I get it.
It's over.
The numbers don't lie. They're bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure most of the fans that are calling right now want him gone. But
They'd be perfectly happy.
I don't think they're going to fire him.
Not one person would be unhappy if they let go of the coach.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Can I point out something else that has been
You're
prevalent
responsible
throughout? And I just did the math on it. They start so slow.
Yep.
Their
It's a Ron
first halves
hallmark.
suck. Game 1, they're down 13 to 10 at the
They're
half.
not
Game
prepared
2,
to
they're
play.
down
They're not
21 to
ready.
14 at the half. Game number 3, they're down 16 to nothing at the half. Surprisingly, against the Eagles, they were up 17 to 10 at the half. But first 3 games, again, 13 to 10, 21 to 14, 16 nothing, and then last night, 27 to 3.
But that also goes on the offense. Defensively, they're not ready to play.
Right.
Offensively, they have not been good in first halves.
By the way,
that's Bieniemy.
How dumb were we to think that looking
Just
at
overall
the
team,
stats about Jack and how he turns around the defense like after the 4th game? We were just dumb enough to think that was going to happen yesterday.
Well, it
But
should
got
have against them.
worse.
Hey, if
Sound
we
like
could
they're
have got
playing
our
Super Bowl champs.
If we could have got our survivor pick in
We'd be out.
yesterday
We'd be out.
instead of
We'd be out
Sunday,
because we would have been.
wouldn't we have all taken Washington?
I think
no,
so.
in hindsight, I wouldn't have.
I still would have
Okay,
stuck
but
with the
I think
Dolphins.
the 3 of us would have.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I would have taken the others. They were bigger favorites.
Okay.
Jason,
Would've
to
been a big fat
Jason's
loser.
point, to Jason's point, they're averaging 8.8
good.
points per game offensively in the first half.
Right. So they're not prepared defensively, and they're not prepared offensively.
They're not
That's
even
the head
averaging
coach.
9 points.
All right, and the
in
offensive
first
coordinator.
half.
I mean, you're telling me you want Bieniemy to run the show. They're not doing anything in the first
Listen,
half.
No,
Bieniemy hasn't shown
They're
me
playing
much.
catch up.
it's
but
not.
at least Bieniemy has a fire to
It's
him.
not so much that we want Bieniemy running it.
You just
it's
don't
that
want
we
Ron.
don't any.
Yeah.
It's much like anybody but Dan.
I get
It's
it.
anybody
what?
other than Ron
Bring in
at this
Jeff
point.
Saturday. Who cares?
He had fire.
Bring in John Riggins.
You know what? You could let
Who cares?
You could let Magic coach the team.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'd
I
rather
guarantee you,
Magic Johnson
Magic would show more
coaching the
emotion.
team.
Hey,
He'd have more of an impact.
after they fire the staff, how about prime time next year?
I don't know.
How about prime time?
He's a marketing
I mean,
genius. I don't know what else.
Their defense.
All right, let's go to
they
some-
got the boots put
let's go to
them
some
Let me
in
say
calls.
2
this about
weeks.
emotion. You can grill me. I think it's so overrated. Tony Dungy won a Super Bowl and had a very similar demeanor on the sideline. He wasn't
had a-
some fiery guy. He often just had his arms folded and he was measured.
All right,
Joe Gibbs, I don't think was the most fiery guy.
that worked for him. Okay, that's fine. This guy's had no success. I like fiery guys. Football's
but
a
he's
game of
never been
emotion.
like that.
I guarantee you, Joe Gibbs had fiery guys on his staff. You think Joe Bugle wasn't a fiery
yeah, he
guy?
was.
You think Richie Pettibone wasn't a fiery guy?
I just-
He had fiery guys on his staff.
I just see some of the most successful coaches in the league. Some of them are fiery. Sean McVay is a really good coach. He's fiery, but there are others who
Listen,
are pretty
if
stoic
you
that are
think you
super
could just
successful.
have a bunch of stoic nerds coaching your team, I disagree with you. You can't. Not going to work.
Anybody
this
but
game.
Ron.
They're giving up defensively in first halves 17.4 points per game and scoring 8.8.
Right.
That's their first halves.
I need a sloppy, big-bellied football coach.
Look, I know 100% of the fans are going to want him fired today. I know that.
Yeah,
Real
nobody's gonna
quick,
stand up
You
for
want a
him.
Biff Poggi?
Yes.
Real
give me
quick,
Biff.
let's play what Chase Young said after the game as we're talking about the first half.
Chase Magic tweeted out something about how he felt guys didn't come out with intensity and fire in the first half. What do you agree with that?
Gotta start fast.
What was,
Come out
the,
slow.
what was the offense doing that posed an issue here tonight?
That's what they gotta handle. I know on our defense, we gotta start faster, and we gotta hold ourselves accountable.
You guys didn't want to hear about moral victories after the last game. What would you kind of classify how this result was other than just a loss?
We gotta start fast. We always saying that. We gotta do it.
He's not saying
He's
anything.
not going to give you
That's
anything.
all he said over and over
He's
again
not saying
was
anything.
to every question, got to start fast.
He doesn't know what to
He
say.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
He just counting his
He
money.
It
just
is a
wants to
major
leave.
problem that they're giving up 17.5 points per game in the first half and scoring just 8.8 points per game
Hey,
in the
how's
first
that-
half.
how's that
They're
to-
digging holes.
How's that defensive-centric team working out for you, Ron? How's that pouring all of your draft capital into defensive linemen and corners? How's that working? Not working so great at this point.
It's just funny how we flip on players because we were so high on Forbes in the preseason
Right.
and in the first couple of weeks. After the Denver game, made a nice play. Did he have a pick in the Denver game? I think he did.
He had one. He kind of bobbled
Yeah,
it.
but
he got it.
and we've completely flipped on him.
No.
Well, when
I'm not
We've
giving up.
completely flipped on
Hold on.
Forbes.
For the record, I'm not giving up on him.
I'm
But
just saying
he's
we
been
flipped.
bad.
He's been really bad.
But I'm not giving
He's
up
been
on
the
him.
worst in the league.
Yeah, when you get tormented by
He's given up
number
more
one wideouts,
yards
like,
than any DB in the NFL.
That's the whole reason he was brought in, was to lock up with number one wideouts, make plays, make interceptions. He's getting torched. And has to watch from the sidelines.
Back to the starts. They've been outscored now 44-17 in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, 87-44 in first halves. And then the game's different. Like, I can almost give them a pass for not running the football and not having any balance. I mean,
I don't
6
wanna hear about
runs,
balance today.
6 runs.
This is not about
No,
balance.
because you're trailing. There's a huge hole.
This is not
but
about
part of the
balance.
reason you're trailing, we praised Bieniemy last week. Part of the reason you're trailing is you're not doing anything offensively in the first half. So now you're in a hole, and now you have to throw the football. Remember those first couple drives? 3 and out, 3 and out.
But it wasn't because there wasn't balance. It was partly because they couldn't get
They were
1 yard.
Yeah, they were
When
trying
Brian
to
Robinson
run.
got stuffed.
Right.
Why don't we should run the cheat play. Why are we not running the tush push? Everyone else is running the dumbass play till they ban it. Why
It's
are
not
we
getting
trying to
banned
go
anytime
old
soon.
school? They just suck, man.
What an
All right, let's
awful
see if
Go to
the
Chuck.
Humiliating
fans feel the
display.
same way that we do.
Chuck, what's up, man? Embarrassed.
What's
Just
going on,
humiliated.
guys?
Chucky,
Yes, sir. How's it going?
what's up?
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, like you said, should you fire Ron, the other 2 guys, or the it's whose fault is it? How about put all on there? You missed that.
No,
They're
I said it's all of them.
you know what I'm
Players,
saying?
coaches, everybody.
Oh, everybody plays it
Cheerleaders.
like shit. I was at the game. It was
Well, you
horrible,
can't
dude.
say that.
All right, see you later,
There's a
Chuck.
group
What did he say? I
collective
didn't hear
dunk.
what
He
he
said
said.
the S word.
Third downs, and you saw it on the first drives, and I don't have the numbers on the season, like where they rank on third downs defensively, but right off the bat, we talked about it. Justin Fields drops back on the first play, has Mooney open, misses him. Then they run Herbert for a yard. It's 3rd and 9. And then he has the long pass to DJ Moore. And then later on that drive, it's 3rd and 14. I mean, the defense should win on 3rd and 14 because that's when your pass rushers can really go at a quarterback, and that's another touchdown pass. So right off the bat in the first drive, 2 critical third downs, 3rd and longs, the Bears convert.
They converted a couple of 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8s, which is regular handoff.
And you know what I hate on social media? You see a lot of people sometimes defend the defense by saying, well, the offense wasn't doing their job, so the defense was back on the field. Well, that's the very first drive of the game. They're fresh, and these are 3rd and longs, and you have these pass rushers. And look, Montez Sweat had a couple plays. Chase Young had a couple plays. You can't let a team convert on 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 14.
I don't know if this is updated through last night's game, but Washington is 20th in the league in defensive third down percentage, allowing 42%. Cleveland's number 1 at 22.5.
We were hoping that.
Oh, by the way, you know who's last?
The Bears? I don't know. We were hoping that we would be like a minimum a top 10 defense. That was that was
10.
no, but
Yeah.
honestly,
Right,
That was the floor.
the kind of the idea was that this is going to be a top 10, maybe a top 5 defense, and they're one of the worst.
Even more frustrating than those 3rd and 14 were the 3rd and 7s. There were 2 of them in the second quarter, I think it was.
They just ran.
They
the ball.
ran the ball to Herbert. They were
Right.
giving up, and he gets 9, 10 yards.
Yeah.
he got
That guy
9.
was
2 times in
killing
a row.
He was killing
They
him.
could have
was
scored
outrageous.
50 if
I
that
mean,
guy didn't get
The
hurt.
Commanders can't even be good at one element of defense. Not one. You can't be really good against the run and bad against the pass. They're bad against everything.
Right.
No pass rush. Bad against the run. Corners get torched by opposing number 1 wideouts.
All right, let's go to Mike in Florida. Mike, what's up? You're on with the Junks.
What's happening, boys? How's it going?
Hey,
What's up?
Going awful.
So
Hey, no callers. Don't ask us how it's going, how you
It's going
doing.
awful. Nobody got any
That's
sleep.
That's a waste
It's
of
not going great.
It's a waste of breath.
I got to drive 6 hours after that S show.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize, and that's exactly right. I didn't waste any of my sleep. I turned it off before halftime.
Well, you're
I
smarter
couldn't
than
take
me.
it anymore. Couldn't take it anymore, guys. I'm tired of this. I'm completely checked out. I drank the Kool-Aid with the new owner and thinking, but it's all going to change now. No, because we still have the same damn coaches, and they're coaching the same damn way.
No, maybe not for
And-
long. Like,
The owner
and
was
more
partying
performances
like
like
he was
that.
at a bar mitzvah last night. We were getting
Yeah,
smoked
and
on
now-
national
and now
TV.
He's suspect. Now he's going to be
Unbelievable.
suspect because now he just wants to solo cup it up in the box and hopefully waiting for Taylor Swift to come into town.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I don't know, guys. I'm ready to be a DC Defender fan. I'm ready to give the XFL my money.
Let's not get that extreme.
Can't do that. Let's go to Matt.
What if they beat the Falcons? Now you're back to 3-3 and have a sweat.
Gotta work. Gotta win quite a few to get us back.
I don't see a scenario where they're going to be able to stop the Falcons' offense. Like that defense is so flawed in every aspect. They can do whatever they want. Like if you're Arthur Smith, yeah, the Falcons are going to have a party against the Commanders' defense next weekend. It's Toby Keith.
Toby Keith. Is it from like 10 years ago or something?
Probably 20. I don't know how old the song is.
Said I started tweeting that last night.
Owner.
Josh Solo Cup Harris.
That's our own.
I mean, billionaires drink out of red Solo cups.
I actually don't think it was a red Solo Cup.
I would upgrade my glassware if I were Josh Harris.
Somebody needs to tell him that we lost.
Was that Mark
was up
Guine
there too? Yeah.
partying it up with him?
Mark's great.
He was on his cell phone.
Mark owns like 1%.
Drinking cocktails.
Magic Johnson's like smashing glasses.
Yeah. Shouldn't Josh Harris have Baccarat glasses instead of a red Solo Cup?
The fancy stuff. Absolutely.
Does he realize that the sellouts that he's enjoying, that they're rare around here? That they're not going to continue.
I was going to say, they're not going to last that long.
That's why
they're not going to continue.
That's why he's going to can Ron, because he knows that this can't stand. Now, whether it's on October 8th or January 8th, Ron is going bye-bye. He's going bye-bye out to the West Coast, playing 36 at Spyglass Hill. And I think it should be on this date right here, October 11th. And that's not of 2024. That is like next week, the middle of next week. Ron should be tipping his caddy $100 out at Pebble Beach.
100.
I mean, I don't know. What do you tip your caddies at Pebble Beach? 200?
It was a lot more than that.
All right, 200, 300. I mean,
he can afford it.
Isn't Ron making $8.5 million this year? $8 or $8.5 million?
Is he stealing
to fold his arms and not yell at his team at halftime? You want to talk about somebody stealing money?
I don't know how the guy's not a rookie owner. Like he's owned big time franchise. The 76ers is a iconic franchise. He's owned that for quite a while now. You can't be on national TV partying like you're at a wedding where you're getting smoked, where you're getting humiliated.
He doesn't know how to handle that.
How's he not know?
Because
he's been around.
He's a businessman. He's not a fan.
He's a professional sports owner.
How many times did people from Philly tell you he's a businessman? He doesn't care about the success of the team. He just cares about the money.
I didn't hear that. If you say that, I believe you.
But you know what? I'll say this.
I didn't hear that.
Coming off the previous owner,
but
coming off the previous owner, he's more of a man of the people. Like he's just one
still
of the,
an upgrade.
Yes, he's a huge upgrade.
A huge upgrade.
He's. I mean, look, he doesn't know how to clap.
Same result. Same result.
He throws the ball weird
because he bought the team, but he's saddled with Ron and Jack.
At least Dan partied in. By himself.
Well,
not on national TV.
Will you respect him more if you hear it come across the news today that Ron is fired at 11 a.m.?
Someone's going to have to wake him up at about 2 p.m. today and tell him that they got smoked.
Yeah. If he's hungover, if he's in a haze,
he ain't feeling great.
He doesn't even know it.
But
he doesn't even know it.
He took his private jet back to Florida at 11 o'clock last night.
He doesn't even know it.
Hey, what's the over-under on Advil for Josh today?
100 Advils today.
And a lot of like Gatorades.
Yeah.
Got to get those electrolytes back.
All right. The fans want to fire Jack.
Let's get to it.
The fans want to fire Ron.
Yeah, both of them.
Are you on board?
I'm the only person who said not fire him.
636-1067.
Are you insane?
Who knows?
Honestly, like, what do you
Who knows?
We'll take your
calls next. What am I watching? I don't know. What did I watch at 3:30 this morning?
Beating?
3:30. I could have slept for another, 45 minutes, and I got up and watched that nonsense.
I made myself go to bed at like 12:30.
I can't believe you stayed up for the pressers. Actually, I can believe you stayed up.
800-636-1067. More your calls next on the MGM National Harbor Listener Lines here on a Misery Friday presented by Chiniga Mayos. Join the mission at careerswithmios.com.